Hi everyone, Antoinette here. Today I'm going to talk about 5 micromanaging habits that destroy trust. Nobody likes to be micromanaged, which is so ironic because usually the person who is the one giving the task or responsibility micromanages because they care about whatever it is that they're giving over to the other person so much. They care to make sure that it's done right, and they want to make sure that they don't lose that sense of control. But what happens is they end up destroying trust with that other person and certainly putting a strain on the relationship. And sometimes it can be hard to know the difference between micromanaging and leading, managing, providing guidance. So here are 5 micromanaging habits. Number 1 is when you give someone something to do and then you end up doing at least part of it anyway. So you've told somebody else, I would like for you to do this, or I would like for you to take care of this. And the person hasn't done it yet or has started to do it and then finds out later that you have already done it, or at least done part of it. And maybe you did it because they hadn't started yet. And so you're thinking, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. In that situation, did you tell them when it needed to be done and when they needed to start? And if not, then how could they have known? Or maybe you had good intentions and you thought, well, they're busy, or maybe they forgot about it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. In these situations, there is a lack of communication. Rather than communicating with the person about the thing that you told them that you'd like for them to do or take care of, you just went ahead and did it yourself. In that situation, you're micromanaging. Next is when you frequently check in for updates. You check in to see how are things going and where they're at in the process. Instead of asking the person, provide some updates with me by this date, or let's meet once a week so that I can just go over how things are going, rather than just checking in frequently, and then the other person feels like that they're constantly being asked for updates. Next micromanaging habit is when someone does something differently than you, but the outcome is the same, or in some cases better, and you still critique them because they didn't do it exactly the way that you would have wanted it done, or exactly the way that you did it. Now, if it's a situation where the outcome is not as good, or there's some other fallouts because they didn't do it the way that they should have, then that's one thing. But we all know that people do things differently, even if it's just a little task. Everybody's got their own methods of doing things. So as long as there's nothing wrong with the way that they did it, if they just did it differently, but they didn't do it wrong, or they didn't leave something out that shouldn't have been left out, is there really a need to critique them? Maybe in some situations, they're doing it more efficiently or better than you. The next micromanaging habit is when you want to be in close proximity to the other person. Meaning, if they're going to be having a conversation with someone, you want to be in earshot so that you can listen to that conversation, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person or on a video call. Or you want to observe them and you want to watch them. When someone feels like they've been entrusted to do something, but they're being watched or they're being listened to, then it's hard for them to embrace what it is they're doing because they're so conscious of being watched or listened to. So it's really hard to be confident and really embrace what they're doing if they always feel like somebody's hovering over them. Now, maybe in the beginning, you do want to observe the other person or listen to them on phone calls, but to let them know, I'm going to be shadowing you, or I'm going to be listening to you during this first period, just to make sure that nothing's missed. But the idea is for me to not continue with this after you have gotten the hang of this. And next, a micromanaging habit is if you really want to be kept in the loop on every bit of communication along the way, whereas you want to be copied on emails, you want the person who you've delegated to come back with you with every little step along the way, rather than setting some checkpoints along the way, so that the other person knows which situations that you want to be copied or brought into the conversation. So it all boils down to communication, letting the other person know that you trust them and you're wanting to equip them, meaning you're wanting to provide them the best resources possible so that they will be successful in whatever it is that you're delegating to them. Let them know in advance how you'll be communicating with them, how you'll be supporting them, and to let them know that you trust them by not micromanaging. If you have enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll share it and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.